Welcome back. All right, so just 4 games tonight in the National Hockey League. We have 11 games tomorrow. I've already got the board set up for that, but let's go over this board with the 4 games on it for a Monday night. Starting things off with Edmonton in Buffalo against the Sabres with Skinner versus Luukkonen. Oilers press at 1.5 minutes. The shots are 2-0 for Edmonton at 3 minutes. We get a post for Nugent Hopkins. The Sabres clear after that. There were a lot of posts for Edmonton in this one. McDavid has a net drive chance that's saved. Podkolzin has a rebound chance that's kicked aside. The shots were 7-3 for the Oilers with 9.5 minutes left. Draisaitl's denied on a fast break, and then on a rush at 13:27, Tage Thompson buries his own rebound to make it 1-0 for Buffalo. Sabres look for another. The Oilers press with 3.5 minutes left. Greenway fires one wide from the slot. Crossbar and out for Nurse. Another one of those posts. It's 1-0 Buffalo after one. Second period. There's a delay for repairing of the boards, and then at 1:35, Nurse fires one past a screen to tie the game. Stetcher and Draisaitl with the assists, so 1-1 tie there. Oilers then look for the lead. The Sabres press at 3 minutes, and at 3:52, Tuck buries a wrister from the slot. McLeod with the assist. It's a 2-1 lead for Buffalo. Surprise to many, including myself. Oilers press for a response. Peterka then has a rush chance that's held. Power misses an open net as the Sabres get some pressure. Buffalo would draw a power play. That's killed off. Brown's denied on a 3-on-1 rush right after that ends. We then get a power play for Edmonton. Draisaitl has a one-timer that's held. And then at 9 minutes and 12 seconds, it's a face-off win and it's in. Bouchard with the goal from McDavid and Draisaitl. So the Oilers tie the game at 2. Things then get pushy on a hold by Luukkonen. The Oilers go back to the power play. That's killed off. Draisaitl has a net drive chance that's held with 2:24 left. The Oilers go back to the power play. That becomes 54 seconds of 4-on-4. A power play for Buffalo carries over into the third period with the score tied at 2. The Oilers do finish the kill, and then at 3 minutes and 20 seconds, Thompson with his second goal of the game. He scores from Josh Norris, buries a net feed. Buffalo's ahead 3-2. Oilers press for a response. Sabres get pinned down, but they're blocking the path to the net pretty well. Arvidsson has a shot that's blocked. The Sabres clear. The shots are 7-6 Edmonton with 6 minutes left. We get a power play for the Oilers. That leads to a shorthanded 2-on-1 where Tuck's denied. They do kill off that penalty. Oilers pull the goalie with 1:55 left. They had chances, did not tie it. Buffalo. Surprising win, 3-2. They go to 25-32-6 with the win. With the loss, the Oilers 37-23-4 on the season. Shots on net favored the Oilers the whole way. 11-8 in the first, 11-7 in the second, 12-8 in the third. Final shots 34-23 for the Oilers. Power plays, Edmonton 1 for 4. Buffalo 0 for 2. The hits 23-13 for Edmonton. Skinner saves 19 out of 22. Luukkonen saves 32 out of 34. All right, next up, Detroit and Ottawa. So it's Talbot versus Ullmark. Good forechecking by Detroit. No shots on net 3 minutes in. It was a defensive game for the most part. Things get pushy on a hole by Talbot. The Sens press at 4.5 minutes. Zetterlund has a net drive chance that's held. The Sens press at 7.5 minutes. They're controlling the game. In fact, the shots are 6-2 in their favor 9 minutes in. We get a power play for Detroit. That's killed off. 3 shots on net on that one. Sens press after the kill is done. Zetterlund's denied. Talbot holds. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. The Wings press with 3.5 minutes left. The Sens get some pressure in the final minute. With 24.6 seconds left, Ottawa goes to the power play. There's some punching and pushing at the horn, but it's scoreless after one. Second period. Wings finish the kill. There were 3 shots for Ottawa on that. Gaudette has a rush chance that's saved. 3 minutes into the period, the shots are 5-0 for Ottawa. That would change. Sider has a rush chance that's held. The Sens press at 5.5 minutes. Ottawa goes back to the power play, and they score on it at 7:38 Perron. Off of a forecheck, he wires it from the left circle. Giroux with the assist. He helped set that one up. It's 1-0 Ottawa. Wings look to respond. DeBrincat's denied and close. Puck's cleared out. Things get pushed in a hole by Talbot. We get a power play for Detroit. That's killed off. But with 5.5 minutes left, the shots are now 19-9 for Detroit. Lots of opportunities for Detroit in this period. Wings press with 5 minutes left. With 3:54 left, the Wings go back to the power play. That's killed off. Detroit presses in the final minute. The fans call a penalty. The referee does not. It's 1-0 Ottawa after 2. Third period, there's an early power play by Ottawa. That's killed off. And then at 2:58, Larkin wires one from the left circle. Raymond with the assist. Detroit has tied the game at 1. Wings press at 4 minutes. Matt and Paulo can't bury one in close. The shots are 5-4 Ottawa at 6 minutes. Larkin has a wrister that's held. The Wings press at 6 minutes. Raymond's denied. And then with 5:16 left, Ottawa gets a power play. And on a tic-tac-toe play, it is Cousins getting the goal, his first as a Senator. Sanderson and Tkachuk with the assists at 14:56. Sens press for another. The goalie pull happens with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left. Ullmark, lots of heroics during that 6-on-5. The Sens end up holding on. They win this one 2-1. So the chess magnets on the board because 3 goals or less. Ottawa goes to 33-25-5. Detroit 30-28-7. I thought Detroit played really well. They just did not get the goals because Ullmark said, no thank you. Shots on net are 9 apiece in the first, 27-9 Detroit in the second, 13-5 Detroit in the third. Final shots 49-23 for the Wings. They have lost 6 in a row, and they're not playing badly. That's the weird part. Power plays: Detroit 0 for 3, Ottawa 2 for 4. So Ottawa did not get a goal 5-on-5. Hits 44-32 for Ottawa. It felt very playoff-like. Talbot 21 saves on 23 shots. Ullmark had himself a night, 48 saves on 49 shots. All right, next up. Chicago and Colorado. So it was Knight versus Wedgwood, and there was really one question coming into this game. Would McKinnon get the 1,000th point? The answer being, yep. Early Avs power play, that's killed off. Shots are actually 2-1 Chicago 3 minutes in. Avs press at 4 minutes. There's a power play for Chicago. That's killed off. The Avs score, was it offside? Honestly, on my TV, and I mean, maybe it's because I've got a big TV, but to me it was obvious that was offside. I don't know why it took that long, because I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, his skates across the before the puck, so that's offside. Took him forever, and then no goal. So the shots are 6-3 Colorado at the half. The teams trade turnovers. McKinnon fires one wide on a rush. Lots of near misses by Colorado, and with 55.8 seconds left, the Avs get a power play. So it's scoreless after the first as that power play rolls over into the second. Chicago does finish the kill. Avs press at 2.5 minutes. In fact, the shots are 2-0 Colorado 4.5 minutes in. Colton has a net drive chance, near miss there. The Avs press at 8.5 minutes. We get a power play for Chicago, and at 8 seconds later, it becomes a 5-on-3. The fans call one during the 5-on-3. The referee does not. And the Avs end up killing off the 5-on-3. So the fans probably felt okay with the fact that they killed it off. Foligno's then denied after that. Wedgwood holds. Then there's a delay for a glass issue. So we had a delay for boards repair, a delay for a glass issue. We get a power play for Chicago. That lasts 39 seconds. It becomes 1 minute and 21 seconds of 4-on-4. We get a post for Cale Makar. Everything gets killed off. It's still scoreless after 2. 31 seconds in, Lehkonen scores for Colorado to open the scoring. Taves and McKinnon with the assists. And so that is the 1,000th point for Nathan McKinnon. The Avs press for another, and at 3:27 they find it. Natchez scores from McKinnon, so that's McKinnon getting points number 1,000 and 1,001. Shots are 4-2 for Chicago at 7.5 minutes. So Knight allows goals on back-to-back shots to start the period. Nelson fires one high on a rush. The teams trade turnovers. Coyle has a net drive chance that's held. Bedard's denied and close. The shots are 9-4 Chicago with 5.5 minutes left. Things get pushy on a hold by Knight. The Hawks press with 4 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 2 minutes left. And at 19:06, Kiviranta hits the empty net. Initially, they gave assists. They took those assists away. But it's a 3-0 win for Colorado. They go to 39-24-2. Chicago 20-36-9. Shots on net show this game was close. 8-5 Colorado in the first, 7-6 Chicago in the second, 8-7 Chicago in the third. Final shots 21-20 in favor of Colorado. Power plays Chicago 0 for 4, Colorado 0 for 3. The hits 26-18 Colorado. Knight saves 18 out of 20. Wedgwood saves all 20 for the shutout. And I know, I'll go get it. I realized when I got to this game, I'm like, I forgot. Which it happens. It happens because, obviously I'm going to make sure the Tony the Tiger magnet's on the board. And so the chess magnet gets on there too because 3 goals or less. So some low-scoring games tonight. And now we'll get to the one that was the closest to a high-scoring game we had this evening, which was Toronto in Utah. And at points it looked like this might be a really high-scoring game. So Woll versus Vejmelka in this one. Holmberg has a net drive chance that's saved. We get a power play for Utah. That's killed off. 1 shot on net. The shots are 3-1 Toronto, 6 minutes in. Stenlund has a chance that's held. The fans call one. The referee does not. We get a power play for Toronto. Tavares has a net drive chance that's held. And then at 12:41, Nylander wires one far side. That is a power play goal. Marner and Nyes with the assist. So 1-0 lead for Toronto. Shots are 10-2 Toronto with 6.5 minutes left. The problem with Toronto is playing that full 60 minutes. This is an alarming issue that they've been having, and they don't necessarily play well when they get leads, and we'll go through that here. So the Leafs press with 5 minutes left. Gunther has a rush chance that's held with 1:42 left. The Leafs go back to the power play. They score on this one as well. It's Yarncroke burying one from the slot at 19:37. Domi and Riley with the assists, so 2-0 lead for Toronto after one. Second period, Keller has a net drive chance that's defended. The Leafs draw a power play. That's killed off. Schmaltz is denied on a rush. The Leafs scorer, was it a high stick? It is ruled that Lorentz does not actually touch the puck with his stick. Eventually, the goal is changed to Benoit. However, initially it was given to Lorentz, and the fans were rightly upset because Lorentz's stick was definitely high. If this goal goes back to Lorentz, I'd love to have a discussion with the NHL on how they made this decision, but it did get changed to Benoit from Kampf and Holmberg at 4:48. So the goal counts on the basis that it doesn't touch Lorentz's stick. At least that should be the basis, although it showed as Lorentz's goal initially. So, that made it 3-0. Now, Utah, whether the turnaround was the fight that occurred not long after or not, I don't think it was. I think it was that third goal and they weren't happy about it. But there's a fight between Benoit and Kesselring. It is Kesselring. The Sportsnet announcer said Kesserling all game. And it's just one of those things that you hear and you go, that's not right. Kesselring. And I know I do that too. I know I do that too. But anyways, not with Kesselring, but I've done that with other names. So they have the fight between Benoit and Kesselring. Benoit goes with the Superman punch out of the gate, so I'm sure that's going to get brought up on Sportsnet when we get to Hockey Night in Canada. They'll talk to Kevin BX about it because they kind of have to. I even was like, Superman punch? That's the thing is, it didn't really connect, and then Kesselring wins the rest of the fight, in my opinion, although it looked like he hurt himself as he went down to the ice. Either way, this seemed to fire up the Utah Hockey Club. At 8:14, Carconi tips one top shelf. Doan and McBain with the assists. Utah then presses for another. And at 9:03, Schmaltz scores from Mata and Keller. So the Leafs call a timeout because you got to tell these guys to knock it off. Utah presses to tie it. We get a power play for Utah. That's killed off. And then the Leafs go right back to the box. So, A, you let the team back into the game. And B, you keep going to the box. And Hayden, it's a point shot that deflects in to tie the game. Sergachev and Gunther with the assists at 12:11. We have a 3-3 tie. And Utah's crowd's into it. And, this is what happens. Utah goes back to the power play. It then becomes 43 seconds of 5-on-3. The Leafs do kill that off. Then with 53.5 seconds left, the Leafs get a turn on the power play. So that rolls over into the third period. The game tied at 3. Utah would finish the kill. The shots are one apiece at 3 minutes. Too many Leafs on the ice. That gives Utah a power play. That lasts 16 seconds before it becomes a minute and 44 seconds of 4-on-4. So that everything gets killed off there. Matthews then has a net drive that's saved. Tavares to Riley, near miss there. Utah presses with 9 minutes left. Domi has a net drive that's blocked. More pressure by Utah with 4 minutes left, and we end up going to overtime. In the overtime, the Leafs control early. Nylander backhands one wide. Teams exchange 2-on-1 rushes. Nylander ends up hitting a post, but we go to a shootout. In the shootout, Mitch Marner with the winner for Toronto. So it is a 4-3 shootout victory for Toronto. 39-22-3 is their record. Utah 28-25-11 with the shootout loss. Utah, I have realized recently, they play for overtime. Whatever's going on in a game, they understand the importance of points. It feels to me like this is a team that once it's tied going to the third, their focus is we need to make sure we at least get a point out of this game. So they got another one. They do have 11 points now in extra time. Shots on net, 13-4 Toronto in the first, 15-7 Utah in the second, 10-4 Utah in the third, and 4-2 Utah in the overtime. Final shots, 33-26 for the Utah Hockey Club. Power plays, Toronto 2 for 5, Utah 1 for 5. The hits, 22-21 Utah. Woll saves 30 out of 33. Vejmelka saves 23 out of 26 at the other end. So there you go. You guys are all caught up on tonight's action. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.